Okay, this is Keystone, the optimistic quadriplegic, and I'm back with one of the Griswolds. The Griswold that was closest to the whole incident, Greg Gil. Hello, Gil.
How you doing?
Gil and I met as freshmen in college at Central Michigan. So that'd have been 1981, fall of 81.
Yes.
So 34 years at the time of the accident. Wow. But
We're old.
yeah, and I think I consider Gil to be my closest friend of all the Griswolds. We've never been living the closest or anything like that, but just we always seem to have a symbiotic relationship where we enjoy the same thing.
No doubt we joked around, I think, back to college and Eli Kangas and economics.
Economics, yes, our studying, it's like that, yeah. What little studying we did. But anyways, so Gil was there, and I don't know how much he remembers, but we're going to find out. Just to refresh your memory, I'm driving the car back to the parking lot, and my recollection is I'm going too fast. I hit a curb, tips over on my side, and I'm thinking the only way it could happen is the roof came down the side of my neck. And I'm laying there saying I can't move my arms or my legs. So what do you remember from that period of time?
Well, from when we left the 18th green, we were going, and I remember driving on grass, which, not cart path. And so, I think we took a path around the green coming back, which kind of takes us on the path that you're describing. And, all day we were listening to music on Alice's box. And there was always plenty of jokes
We
about
had a good
that.
day, and I think we were counting our money, because I think we
Yes.
did really well.
Yes, we did. And so
Okay.
I'm sure Barnes talked about that a little bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But it was a good day as far as golf is concerned. But as we're driving back, because we're getting close to the clubhouse, I'm thinking, okay, I need to turn this music down because we're blasting it, and we were just having fun the whole day. And as I'm turning it down, I was putting it back, and I grabbed onto the handle of the golf cart, and I'm like, hey, we're coming in hot. And then it's like the next thing I know, it was just this violent collision. And we just flipped so fast. I hit my leg. I had a big bruise on my inner thigh here on the steering wheel. And that's probably a good thing because I didn't land on you. I landed on that steering wheel, and I popped up, and immediately I'm like looking around to see what's going on because it was just such a sudden stop. And, the first kid on the scene was the cart kid. And he comes out, and you're just in pain or groaning, and, we get the cart off of you. You're partially on the grass and partially in the driveway. And I get down there, are you okay? Are you okay? And the saddest words I think I ever heard was, I can't move my arms or my legs. And I'm like, I was just shattered at that point, yes. But
So was anybody out there? Yeah, it was just
no, it was
me
just
and
you
you
and
still,
I.
right?
Yeah. And so, after that, I'm like, I knew, having seen enough TV, doctor shows and everything, that we can't move you, right? And so I'm like, do not roll him over, because that's always, people like to do that, right? And I'm like, we cannot do that. And so, Chappie was filling in some good stuff about, the volunteer guy, because I'm not sure where this guy came from, but ultimately when the paramedics got there, they got the collar on you, and then I was feeling a lot better at that point. Because it's like, you were in just that fragile state right there, and, there's nothing the rest of us could do. We needed the medical team there.
Right. And so then you rode to the hospital. How'd you
With
get to the
Chappie.
hospital? With Chappie in,
Yeah.
in a private car in Chappie's
Yes, Chappie's car.
car.
Yep.
Okay. And then we know two other guys, Mo and Donnelly, went with the police. So do you remember much about the hospital? I know that you guys came in and talked to me, and I got covered with Chappie. I was more worried about Sarah. Just basic things like that. But were you in there when the surgeon was there at all?
Yes, I was.
Did you hear those conversations? Okay.
And Dr. Colin walked in, and he was just so confident, and he had this manner about him. When you shook his hand, it was just confidence, right? And he was so straightforward in how he dealt with the whole situation, right? He wasn't painting any rosy picture. He was just being realistic. And, that...
No, he did not paint a rosy picture, and I've covered that before.
Yeah.
He laid it out that this was very, very serious.
Yeah. So there was that, but there was also some other guy that was there. I think he was the chaplain.
Yep, there was, yes.
And he was great through the whole thing. The staff there at the hospital was fantastic during the whole thing. I remember the sheriff coming in also, and they kicked us out because they needed to talk to you on your own or something. But it was such a long time as we're waiting. And after we talked to Dr. Colin, there wasn't much time. I think you had talked to Sarah then after we had talked to Dr. Colin.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
And then it was just let's get this fixed. Let's get into the operating room and get this fixed because you don't want to wait. And we were all we were taking turns coming in, and I think at the end it may have been just Mo and I in there as they were taking you out. We cried a lot, both of us.
Yeah.
And I know Mo did too. But I just remember planting a big kiss on your forehead, man, and saying, I love you. It's going to be okay.
Yep, and it's going to be okay. That's the whole point of this. But, so this happened, this is Sunday night, and you're getting updates, I suppose, Sarah's on that Caring Bridge, or maybe more personal with you guys, saying, okay, he's on the vent, he survived surgery.
I went to Chappie, and Chappie dispersed.
Okay, and I'm talking to Sarah, did you tell them what Dr. Colin had mentioned, that maybe I wouldn't walk again? Or?
They told me. They told me how bad you were, but we didn't know until after your surgery.
I'm talking about afterwards now. Now I'm in the hospital. I'm in ICU.
So on the Monday you're talking about.
Yeah,
to tell you the truth, I'm not sure.
Okay. But somebody was giving up. Chappie was getting updates and spreading the updates saying, okay, survived surgery, he's on a vent.
Yeah, Chappie was the one that was giving us the update.
And I think they just went off mine. I don't think he told us till afterwards that you wouldn't walk again. And so, as they came to see you when we were at Petoskey Hospital, we didn't come out and say, oh, the doctor says he's not going to walk. They just said how bad it is. So we kind of all decided by omission not to say anything to you.
So Gil came, was it a Friday or a Saturday?
It was a Friday.
Okay. Was Gil the first Griswold that came to visit me? Or was there big groups?
No. So we were there on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And
before you guys went home? Yeah,
yes, before we went home, because we didn't play and we made that decision, that morning. Right. I didn't sleep very much.
They handed me that envelope of money.
And so, I'm looking for people because we were roommates, and so I'm by myself. And I go out in the hall and I finally see Asher, and it's like, man, I need to eat something. And we went to breakfast and we talked about it. We're like, there's no way we can play, right? Let's get to the hospital, right? And so we all decided at breakfast we're going to the hospital. And so we came to visit you, and we took turns coming in to see you on Monday. You probably don't remember.
No. Was I conscious at all? With my eyes? No, I wouldn't. My eyes weren't open or anything.
You were under the influence quite a bit from whatever medication they had you on.
So that must have been a pretty horrific scene because I've put that picture out there of me with all those tubes in it. And I look at that and I look, wow, that would have been a bad scene to walk into. When you guys walked in and saw that, that had to be,
it was
that
shocking.
had to be like
yes.
worse than when you saw me laying on the ground.
Well, I'm not going to grade if it's better or worse. It was bad, right? I mean, seeing you on the ground was not good. You know, and I think back to talk about when Sarah got there, because we were sitting in the parking lot, the four of us in Chappie's car, you know, and we sat pretty much in silence for a couple hours until you got there. I mean, there really wasn't much to be said. I mean, we're just all just in shock, waiting for Sarah, and then Sarah finally came, and you know, we got her to the waiting room. Chappie talked about introducing her to the nurses and everything. Is, you know, that's what Chappie does. And,
Right.
you know, and that was tough, just waiting for Sarah to get there, and you know, we felt so horrible.
Okay, so that, we'll wrap up part 1 there, and we will do a part 2 next.